Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Racist Driving League Season 12 for round number 11 of the season. The Belgian Grand Prix, the start of the second half of the championship, getting underway here tonight. And we're treated with a wet Spa-Francorchamps circuit for this qualifying session. Of course, last week's race, very exciting with reigning champion Touch Hope taking his first victory of the season, which brings him up to 6th place in the Drivers' Championship. But it's still Salve Landlord who shows the way on 133 points. But Salve Blaze managed to close up a little bit. The gap now stands between the two leaders at 22 points, with Paris a further 8 points back. So it's still to play for. Another poor race from Landlord tonight could be the death knell. Although I've just realised he's not actually here at the moment. So I'm not sure if he's shown up late or if he's just not taking part. But it's a huge opportunity for the leaders to close back up. And if should Blaze win the race, we could very well see a new championship leader from the end of tonight. Only he can take the championship lead away from the AlphaTauri driver come the end of the session. Right, so moving into qualifying then. There's been a few changes recently based on the mid-season sort of assessments in a way, and a couple of drivers have changed their roles. Alex in particular, no longer an Aston Martin driver. Of course, he's driving for McLaren tonight. He's now a reserve driver. He's driving in the McLaren, replacing PJ Caleb for tonight's action. And we had another change. Ben is now permanent Aston Martin driver. He's there in that car tonight. Zach Sherman and Salve Landlord, the two drivers who aren't here for this one. Meanwhile, so Alex there in the McLaren is making his way through the start of Sector 3 now. And we'll be able to take you on a lap of the Spa-Francorchamps circuit when he makes his way back round to the line. So it really could be anyone's game, although I can tell that quite a few of the drivers aren't looking forward to having to drive in the wet here in Belgium. So it'll certainly be a very interesting qualifying session. We could see some different faces up front, but regardless, Alex now making his way through the last couple of corners to start his first timed run. Here comes an off the last turn. It's going to be a slower time we'll be looking at for over the course of tonight, thanks to the wet weather. Here we go. Then over the line to start the lap is a straight run down to La Source at turn 1. Straight right-hander. Doesn't get on the curb there. That's a decent exit. Oh, skids a little bit there. So a little bit scrolling on the exit. Driver's got to look out for in these low speed corners on the circuit. It's making its way down towards now the iconic Eau Rouge, or Radion, whichever one you want to call it. Up the hill he goes. Very smooth run there. And coming towards that Sector 1 split, at the end of this next straight. So they come then. Looking to try and hit 200 miles an hour. I doubt he'll do it thanks to the wet weather. But it's still gear 8, and the split is a 32.4 to start things off. So not too bad a run to get things going. Making his way through sector number 2 now, down the hill towards the right hand. A yellow flag already. That's and that is one of the Mercedes. That's Ethan, who has spun out there, but he's all okay. Alex still continuing on here through the left-hander, coming up to these next couple of corners. You want to be careful. If you get on the curbs too much, you will spin out, and I'm sure the same still applies to here in the wet weather. You want to get as close as you can at spinning out. You want to try and still stay to the left middle of the track. He's doing a great job there of keeping the car on the track, so he's had a pretty good run so far. He makes his way towards the Sector 2 split through the chicane there, nice and clean. Keeps it on the racing surface and on the line as well. So it comes to the split. It's 1 minute 23.5, so decent split time. Here he comes now, making his way towards the last couple of corners. Through the left-hander, very fast sweeping corner. Making his way now towards the final hairpin into the final chicane. Stays off the curbs in the first one, but on the curbs in the second. On the exit, back on the curb and towards the line. What's the first time going to be? 1 minute 54.4. We've got Hash driver coming just behind, and that is, looking at things, it's Lucky Lambert, who's trying to claw back some points in the championship tonight. Where's he going to end up? Does he go faster? No, he doesn't. He goes 3/10 behind. He goes second fastest, and the next car's crossed the line. It was one of the Aston Martins. Dan goes third fastest. Looks like Zach Sherman has now showed up. He's getting ready to start his first run. Fergus is making his way through the last couple of corners in the Alfa Romeo. Those two have had a solid run so far this season. looking at the championship, the two Alfa Romeos have put their cars in third place. He goes fastest there, 1 minute 53.8, so it's full 6/10 faster than Alex over the course of a lap. So very good lap from him there. Ericsson goes fourth in the Alpine, 1 minute 55.0, just about beating down by about 2/10 or so. And Salve Blaze, who's looking to take the championship lead tonight, goes fastest, and he's putting himself in a great position to do so. 1 minute 52.9. That's almost a full second faster than his teammate there, so brilliant stuff from him. Next car to cross the line will be JB Racer in the other Haas. Goes fourth fastest, just in front of his teammate, so great stuff from him. Of course, he's had an alright season so far. Of course, 24 points to his name, as he almost loses it at the exit turn number 1, but slows up there just to keep out of the wall, so good recovery from him. Who will be the next car to cross the line? I believe it will be Touchby Pope, who won last time out in Hungary. Can he go put himself on pole? No, he can't. 1 minute 53.6. So not too bad enough. It puts him on the front row for the time being and puts him just in front of Fergus. So, he's regularly quite good in the wet, so we have to see what he can do. I hope the next car has come. Of course, we've got a change in the Williams tonight. Paris 282 will not be racing as well. And C1 10P fan, who some of you might know from the Takeover Racing League, as the man in control over there, is taking Paris's place tonight in the Racers Driving League. So we'll be looking forward to seeing what he can do against this team of racers. Curtis, one of the next few cars to cross the line, just in front though. I'm not sure who's just gone over the line. Oh, someone's crashed. Who is that? Curtis crosses the line. That's BJ who's crashed. He's lost his front wing. He just went 6th fastest there, so he managed to pull the lap off just before he crossed the line. So good on him for finishing the job. But unfortunate for him that he's got to make it all the way back round to have another go. Websy just went 7th fastest in the Red Bull. Of course, he had a decent race last time out, if I'm not mistaken. No, excuse me. I'm thinking of Dan, the AlphaTauri, who came home 2nd in last week's race, only just by the narrowest of margins. He's currently just slow on the side, waiting for the guys to make their way through. Yeah, the gap between the top 3 was just less than a second between the podium finishers as they all crossed the line. So it was a really great race last week. Hopefully, we'll be treated to another classic this week. Just under 10 minutes to go to cross the 10-minute mark of how long's left in the session. As of right now, 12 drivers have all set times. Zach Sherman, who is in now, as I said. Ethan has set times. Yellow flag sector 2, and that is the other Mercedes of Curtis, who looks like he spun the car. He'll be making sure not to show up in front of his teammate. Lets him through, and we'll let the next few through before getting himself going again. So good sportsmanship there. Good play on him. So yeah, 12 drivers have all set times. Ben in the Aston Martin, next car to cross the line, goes 6th. Looks like he's gone. Sorry, the lap was invalid. I can't see the map down here. Alright, who's next across the line? Zach Sherman's also invalidated, so things aren't looking too good for the Aston Martin as it stands, or for Sebastian Vettel is in the car by the looks of it. So that's just a game glitch. Zach Sherman's time was 1 minute 59.9, so that would have put him at the back anyway. Ethan making his way towards the line now in the Mercedes. He goes 12th fastest, just behind his teammate by 2/10. Only just in front of Dan in 13th, who I have no doubt will be coming into the pits this time for a fresh set of intermediate tyres, and will no doubt go back out there. And we're starting to see a lot of drivers making their way into the pit lane now. Luigi's found out up there in the Ferrari. Of course, things went well for Luigi Sven. He managed to finish 8th, so took points last week in Hungary. However, Ferrari still glued to the bottom of the championship table as Ethan gets handed a 5-place penalty there for a collision with Websy. Has Websy come away? Oh, he's lost his front wing. Oh, and that's not good. What about Ethan? Does he have damage? I'll have to see in a second when the camera changes. But unfortunately for Ethan there, as Pope goes fastest by 600ths. So Pope now on pole position over Salve Blaze, 1 minute 52.934. Very good time from him. And just about puts him up front. Lucky Lambert went third on his last run. Omega's running to pits this time, I assume, because he's backed off an awful lot. Fan is 1/10 up on his previous effort in Sector 1. As he makes his way down towards through the second sector, we're looking to try and improve on that. It's going well so far. More yellow flags all around the track. Coming result towards Websy now, assuming the Rebel will pull over to the side. And yes, he does. Oh, and there goes Fan losing it. No! C110P Fan out of qualifying just like that, having crashed into the wall, the exit of Sector 2. And that will be his run in qualifying. I'll be surprised if he managed to still stay inside the top 10, because I've no doubt we'll see some improvements in terms of laps. Well, a lot of drivers suffering damage in the qualifying sessions. The wet catching out an awful lot of different drivers of mixed ability. And there's yellows everywhere on the track as of right now. Websy almost puts the car in the barrier, just trying to make it inside the pits. Let's see who else is making their way around. Ladies Fens on a lap, he's making his way to the end of Sector 2. 1 minute 23.4 is his split, so not too bad. Pope goes fast again there, 1 minute 52.8 from the Alpine driver to push off just that little bit further ahead. He's only 600ths ahead to start with now, he's a full 10th in front. Almost a 10th and a half between them. As Luigi's Fem rounds the last couple of corners here. How does he fare in the wet weather as he makes his way towards the line? Goes 11th fastest, just outside the top 10 in that Ferrari. His teammate Alvarez also on the lap. He's just finished Sector 1. His first split was a 32.4, so not too bad for him at all. Here comes making his way through Sector 2 now. Ethan and Mercedes is still just sitting there waiting for drivers to go through. And he's waiting for his teammates to go past and then gets him going again. So I'm waiting for a while to make his way back to the pit lane. I mean, look at the time going up there. 3 minutes and 45 the clock is hit. So as I look at it, I think he might there's a chance he's out of fuel. He's got a couple of laps too many on those intermediates. Oh, that is what's confusing, because I doubt he's fueled himself very much. I think he must have fueled himself for a 1 lap run of some form, and then he's run out by the looks of it. Very confusing as to what was his plan of attack over the course of this qualifying session. But he still sits there down in 14th. As Alvar, the other Ferrari, makes his way through the final corners now. Can he top his teammate as he rounds the last turn and towards the line? Right on board with him as he approaches the finish. Goes 4th fastest there. Of course, he took pole position last week in Hungary. Did a very impressive job there. He was almost a full second. Yeah, he was only just in front of a BJ. BJ, of course, back there in 10th place for Williams. He's 3.5 tenths up in Sector 1. And here is the championship leader, Landlord, who has just joined the session. There on the bottom of your screen. And so that does mean that the championship leader will indeed be competing tonight, so he was just late. I'm not sure if he'll be able to join the qualifying session or not. I'm not sure how things work on that. I don't know whether he'll be able to set a lap with the amount of time we've got left. We've got 3.5 minutes left to go in this session. It's still Pope on top. As Landlord is there in the pits there, so he will be able to join the session. We'll be able to probably only get one real good shot to set a lap time. So he has to go out now. It's now or never for him. If he wants to maintain his championship lead, then he'll need to get a good result, as opposed to last week in Hungary, where he finished a measly 17th and didn't actually finish the race. It was a poor qualifying from him as well. As Landorf's retired from the session, so if I look at the Discord chat here, yeah, so I think it should be unable to set time. So it looks like if Huggy Bear can set time, then it looks like he'll be starting last for the race. Huggy Bear's gone invalid on his last effort, which would have put him at the back of the grid At least of the drivers who have set lap times. Only him and Zach Sherman haven't set laps yet. The Aston Martin driver's making his way through sector 2 here. His first split was a 32. Didn't quite see the decimal. Yellow flag in front. That's one of the Ferraris going slow. Here comes Zach Sherman towards the split here. It's 1 minute 22.98. So not too bad. Could put himself inside the top 10 with a good sector 3. As Pope goes on his out lap, he's going to have one more attempt. A lot of drivers out on the racetrack as it stands. We'll keep an eye on who's going around where. Alvar pulling over onto the grass. Comes one of the Alfa Romeos up behind Zach Sherman in the Aston Martin. He rounds the last corner and makes his way towards the line. Can he put himself inside the top 10? No, he can't. Just shy, and just shy of his teammate as well. And I believe that, yeah, that's Fergus came just behind him. It's 5th fastest there. Alex just went up to 6th. JB is making his way through to start his next run, or his final run of the session. And here comes Dan in behind him. He's backed off. He's going remarkably slow there, so he still stays 17th for the time being. Huggy Bear set 1 minute 24.6 in sector 2. So it looks like he'll set a time, and that will put Sal Landlord at the back of the grid for, if I'm not mistaken, for the 2nd week in a row. 1 more minute left to do. As Curtis just moved up in the Mercedes, he just went up to 9th place. Sorry, to 7th. Huggy Bear makes his way towards the line, and he will be pushed up to 19th. So everyone who is running has set a lap time, save for Landlord, who joined late. As BJ goes fastest there behind him in the Williams by just 0.05 of a second. So BJ now on provisional pole, 40 seconds. So all the way around again to get himself going. It was making his way for the last couple of corners now, so he should be okay. Here comes Blaze behind him, who's backed off and setting a valid lap, so he's going to have one more chance. Keep an eye on these two. Lucky Lambert in behind them, but he has improved. Stays 4th fastest for the Haas driver. Fergus was a 10th up in sector 2. So let's see what he can do in these last couple of corners. As Ben to tie from the session. Always looks like he's crashed it in Eau Rouge as Fergus crosses the line. Goes 3rd fastest. And there is Ben, who's crashed at the exit of Eau Rouge. Fergus just put himself inside the top 3. Blaze 3/10 up. BJ's making his way through sector 2. His time is invalid. One of the Haas cars making his way towards the line. That'll be JB, who goes 13th fastest, and that'll be the end of his run. The checker flag has now fallen. Websy half a second up. Next car to cross the line will be Dan in the Alpha Tauri, who's 7/10 down in sector 2, so no improvement from him. And Ericsson makes it around the last corner. He's half a second up. Goes 10th fastest, puts himself just inside that top 10, in front of the top half of the starting order. Websy to the final corner now, crossing the line. What's it going to be for him? Goes 6th fastest there for Red Bull. Good stuff. Here comes Huggy Bear out the last corner and towards the line. Stays 19th. Behind him there, I believe that was BJ coming to the pits. He's on pole position as it stands, but Pope is seriously improving now. He's half a second up. Blaze is 7/10 up. So we could see these two put themselves back on the front row. Lucky Lambert's with them as well. He's just behind them. Curtis just entered the pits. Blaze is going to round the final corner first and over the line. Goes fastest. What about Pope? Comes in behind. He just misses out. And keep an eye on Lucky Lambert, who went 3rd. Right then, so Salve Blaze. Looks like, yeah, that is the end of qualifying. He is on pole position for the Belgian Grand Prix. Great qualifying session here. Everyone really going for it at the end of the session and putting in some amazing times. Of course, Landlord joined late, so he's the only driver to not set time. He will start last in the race. So I'll leave him with it all to do if he wants to maintain that championship lead. If he fails to score and Blaze wins the race, then the Alfa Romeo driver will leave Belgium and head to the next race, which is taking place in the Netherlands he'll head there with the championship lead in his possession. So end of an exciting qualifying session. So then Blaze on pole position. So top three going into the race. Blaze in first, Pope in second, and Lucky Lambert in third. So then we'll join you back in a couple more minutes for the start of the race. So we'll see you then. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Racers Driving League Season 12, round number 11 of the Championship, the Belgian Grand Prix. And we've got a wet race for you tonight. Should be very exciting. Salve Blaze on pole position with his championship rival Landlord at the back of the grid. So this could be a very tough race for our championship leader. Despite having that 22-point advantage, we've got a full grid for tonight's race. A couple of changes here and there. C110P fan from the Takeover Racing League in the Williams for tonight's race, replacing Paris. And Ben now in the, I believe he's in the Aston Martin, and Alex now in the McLaren as a reserve for tonight's race. So it should be a very exciting affair here in Belgium. Of course, the weather will add something different to it. So Blaze and Pope on the front row. So here we go then, the final 30-second countdown to get the race underway. Hopefully we'll have a very exciting Grand Prix. 22 laps of the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Will probably go by a little bit slower due to the rain. But hopefully it'll be an exciting race nonetheless. Plenty of incidents. And hopefully we'll be able to enjoy ourselves here tonight. So here we go then. The formation lap now about to get underway. So with that, I shall take you through the starting grid for tonight's Belgian Grand Prix. So it's Salve Blaze on pole position with reigning champion of last week's winner, Touchy Pope, starting in second place. Lucky Lambert starts in third for Haas. He's fallen down a little bit in the championship recently. Based on my numbers here, he currently sits a good 34 points behind in the points race. So we're looking to try and improve on that. BJ starts in fourth, having started in the front row last week, but didn't have the best of races. Fergus starts in fifth, trying to push himself further up the championship. He currently runs ninth, so trying to improve on that. Websy in sixth place for Red Bull, trying to crack the top 10 in the championship, just 4 points off of that. As Ben and Connie Golden have been disqualified from the formation lap, I'm assuming they've collided. So Alex starts in seventh, his first race for McLaren. Curtis in eighth for Mercedes, ever consistent in qualifying. Alvar starts ninth for Ferrari, and T110P fan coming to the RDL in the Williams starts round 8 out of the top 10. Luigi Sven, teammate to Alvar, starts in 11th place. Could this be the start of a potential turnaround for Ferrari and get themselves some points on the board tonight? Ericsson starts 12th for Alpine, replacing Tinky Winky in that car. Connie Goblin starts in 30th for Red Bull, and Ben starts 14th for Aston Martin. JV Racer starts in 15th for Haas, and Zach Schoen in the other Aston Martin in 16th place. And the final 4 spots on the grid being taken by Dan in the AlphaTauri, who finished second last week. Huggy Bear in the McLaren. Championship leader Salve Landlord, who was started at the back of the grid, but then Ethan got given a 5-place grid penalty in qualifying, so now he starts in last, having qualified in that bottom 5. Right, so now we simply just wait for the drivers to get round for the start of the Grand Prix itself. It's looking like a mostly wet affair, and I'm not sure whether or not the conditions will be changing at any point during the race. Hopefully they do. We'll be able to get a bit of dry racing under our belts as well. The rain appears rather light, but it's been falling for a decent amount of time now, so the track is still quite wet. So that's something the drivers have to consider when they make their way down towards turn 1. They can't be as aggressive as they normally would like to be. Of course, we've seen an instance at La Source in Formula 1 in the past. Think back to 2012, Fernando Alonso, his championship hopes practically going up in smoke there after a huge pile up at turn number 1. So I have to be careful there. We don't want to see a repeat of that. And of course, he was involved in another instance 6 years later with Charles Leclerc at turn 1. Because Leclerc went over the top of his car. He was in now from Sauber that race that night. So hopefully let's just pray that nothing goes wrong with the Alfa Romeos today or anyone today, because we don't want to see that at any point during the Grand Prix. So here comes Salve Blaise then. Salve Blaise making his way through to that pole position slot to get this race underway. Pope lining up alongside him in the Alpine. Lucky Lambert just behind them. And BJ in 4th. He'll be looking to try and make some early moves to start this one off. Ethan in the Mercedes and Landlord in the AlphaTauri back at the last 2 spots on the grid. They're making their way into their stalls to start the Grand Prix itself. So here we go then. 5 red lights for the 11th round of the Races Driving League Season 12. 5 lights on ahead of the drivers. The lights are out and we are now underway. It's a great getaway from Blaise. They charge down towards turn number 1. He moves across to cover off Pope. He's opening up the door for Lucky Lambert. Potentially go inside in at the first corner. BJ makes it 3 wide. Pope going way wide there in the exit of turn number 1. Blaise is away and Pope has to get himself back into line. He does get himself back into line just in front of Alex as they charge out of the Source and up through Eau Rouge for the first time. Blaise has gone away perfectly. It's just the start he would have wanted, and he puts himself in front of Lucky Lambert as Alex goes on the track there in the McLaren. He's opened the door for Websy as they make their way down the straight behind them. Ferguson looking to attack as well. Everyone on the ERS, no one holding him back. It looks like Pope was trying to pass BJ there, falls back into line. So for the top 4 after these first couple of corners, Blaise, Lucky, BJ and Pope has dropped back massively as Fergus makes the pass on Websy for 6th place. He's trying to pull that one off with the 2 Ferraris in mid-up place. So they go side by side down through that second sector. Curtis behind them, we're looking to attack as well. Everyone's keeping nice and calm and controlled as there goes Curtis looking inside of Alvar on the exit on the left, on the right hander and into the left. There's your pit stop strategy below, looking at mainly into for tonight's race. Down towards that left hander they come. There's to be nice and careful, stay off the curbs here. Alvar might not have much choice. Comes very close to potentially maybe getting a bit squirrely there on the exit. These two continue to run side by side. Oh, there's a little spin in front. That's Luigi Sven who's backed out, who's dropped out big time. I'll give Alvar a chance to look inside. A little bit of contact there. Zach Sherman passes C110P found 15th behind them. Great stuff between these 2 Ferraris and Curtis just as well. Blaise up front meanwhile has already pulled out a gap for second, or over a second, so he's already put the rest of the pack out of DRS range. Lucky Lambert still giving chase here as Curtis has spun around in the Mercedes. That puts both the 2 Ferraris at the back of the field, and that'll give Curtis a lot of work to do here. So let's get his tyres back up to temperature and get himself back into shape. No damage sustained. He's only got a yellow fuel light on, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I think there's Courtney Goblin looking inside as Blaise sets the fastest lap to be and begins his second lap. Blaise and Courtney Goblin guns, Fan Courtney Goblin guns side by side. Red Bull getting the edge on that occasion. Landlord's really trying to make his way up through the field. He's up to P15 to start this thing off. He's going round the outside. Zach Sherman at turn 1. So these two guys side by side. Former champion versus one of our rookies this season. Goes around the outside, gets the better of the Aston Martin as they charge down the hill and up towards Eau Rouge once again. It starts to chase Huggy Bear as they make their way through. Ericsson get a little bit squirrely there through Eau Rouge, and that's going to allow Dan to close in and try and attack on the ERS. They make their way down towards that next right-hander. It's going to be very tight between these two. Should he go for a move down towards the right hand? Does he go late on the brakes? He goes a little bit later than Ericsson does, but eventually has to back out and fall back into line. But Ericsson goes a bit wide on the exit, so Dan's going to try to go around the outside if he can. As Landlord now passing Huggy Bear in the race for 13th behind the two the AlphaTauri and the Alpine, battling just in front of them. Huggy Bear trying around the outside, but Landlord has the edge on the right hand side on this occasion. He'll move through and up into P13. He's made some really good places so far in this Grand Prix. Meanwhile, back up front, Pope still chasing BJ and Lucky Lambert, but it's a fruitless task at this point because he's still sitting there behind these two, not where we want to be. There's no DRS for the time being. I've just realised that because it's a wet race. Yellow flag in it, and that's Ben in the Aston Martin who spun out. No damage sustained to the car by the looks of it. So looks like he's alright and be able to keep going just behind Curtis there. Just goes to get himself back up to speed quickly. So they used the ERS to be the main form of attack over the course of tonight, unless the weather changed and things dry up a bit. Lucky Lambert chasing Blaze in second place. And as of right now, the Alfa Romeo driver will leave here with the championship lead should things stay the same. We've still got 20 more laps of racing to go, so we've got a long way to go in this Grand Prix. But it's a little bit squirrely off the last corner. There's Alvar and Luigi Sven go side by side in the way through the last corner. Oh, things getting a little bit squirrely there for Luigi Sven. Those Ferraris go single file, and JB Races trying on the left-hand side. He's managed to work his way up inside the points as they charge towards that first corner. Will he go for anything around the outside? I think he's got no choice. Through turn 1 they go. He's boxed in by those Ferraris, but as Alvar gets away, that gives JB free space to really open up the hammer. They still go side by side here through Eau Rouge. What's JB going to do? He has to back out. As Luigi Sven goes a little bit wide on the exit, JB puts the power down, full foot to the floor, and using that ERS trying to push fast if he can, but he's just still run side by side and keeping an eye on Ericsson. Don't look now, but he's still right behind them, so anything could change on that front as Pope now gets hit with a penalty for multiple warnings. That's track limits really not coming to his rescue at any point. Alex is now closing back in on him as well. Luigi's keeping an eye on this battle here. JB and Luigi's Sven still going back and forth in the race for it. JB with another great switch back, looking to the inside, and that should be job done. He's forcing Luigi Sven a little bit wider there because he kind of overshot the corner just a little bit. Managed to get away with it. Luigi Sven still looking around, also trying to hold off Ericsson, looking to go around the outside in response. There they go, making their way down towards that next left-hander. It's going to be very tight between these two. Ericsson has to back out. Luigi Sven has the edge for the time being, but there goes Dan on his inside. It's not over yet. Ericsson going all over the place, to be honest. Ericsson forced to fall back into line there as Landau now makes the pass, and Dan just behind them. So Landau now up into top place. Things looking good for him in terms of just making his way up through the pack. Of course, if he was to finish inside the points tonight, if I'm not mistaken, it'll be okay in terms of the championship lead. He may have to move semi-right. We've got another spin. Ben has spun out again in the Aston Martin. This time he's lost his front wings. It's gone for a lot worse now as Blaze sets the fastest lap once again. 1 minute 55.1. There he goes off the track. I think he may have to call an end to his race here because I don't see how he'll be able to make his way all the way back around again. He's just making his way further through Sector 3 in order to really finish things off here, but he's going to keep spinning out here because he's got no front grip. I wouldn't be surprised if he loses a wheel or two. There's no back to the pits. Very unfortunate for him. We're back up front though. Blaze has pulled out a really great advantage now. 1.8 seconds over him, over Lucky Lambert and the Haas. And BJ still trying to close in, and Pope still runs right there behind them. Alex has a penalty as it stands, and Fergus is trying to chase him, but he's almost a second behind now. And there's another decent gap back to Websy, and 4.7 back to Alvar. And it's 2.5 back to his teammate, who's still battling JB for that 9th spot, as Fergus now gets hit with a penalty as well. So that's 4 drivers with penalties as Ben finally makes his way back to the pits. JB getting the edge of Luigi's Sven for this occasion as Ericsson looks around the outside once again. Still wants that final points paying place, and who can blame him? But Landau's going around the outside now in the Alpha Tauri. There he goes. Brilliant pass there as JB gets hit with a penalty for multiple warnings. That'll put Landau up inside the points should things stay as they are. There goes JB and Luigi's Sven side by side once more through the chicane. It's very tight between these two. The Ferrari get a little bit squirrely there on the exit. JB is able to stay in front. Move behind him. Dan is trying to make the pass on Ericsson. There's a little bit of contact there if I'm not mistaken. Ericsson's forced to back out. Landau right there behind Luigi's Sven as they charge through Sector 3 now. He's had to use the ERS if he wants to try and get past, but Luigi's also using his DRS as well. JB is getting quickly closed down on as they make their way back up towards that final chicane as Blaze sets the fastest lap once more, beginning the 6th lap of this race if I'm not mistaken. No, lap 5. Excuse me. Sorry, I thought the lap change, that kind of changed for the drivers who aren't on lap yet. Luigi's Sven still right there behind JB, looking to try and wait for any sort of mistake he may make. He's almost a second up on his previous best lap, so he's doing well. He's got a good pace there. As Zach Sherman looks to the inside of Ericsson at turn 1, he's gone from challenging Luigi's Sven for the final points paying place to really dropping back now. Huggy Bears was looking to have a go there, and Ben has spun out again. Same corner as he spun out in for the first time. No damage once again, so he's all good on that front. We'll be able to get himself going again, but he is losing serious time. He's a minute behind his closest challenger, which is Curtis at this point, running 19th in the Mercedes. And if this keeps on going, he'll be in serious danger of getting lapped by Salve Blaze, and that's not what he'll want to happen. As Huggy Bear makes the pass on Ericsson here in the race for P14. The McLaren driver going around the outside there in the chicane. And there goes Courtney Goblin trying to take advantage as well. And there goes Ben, who's spun off again. And has he lost his front wing again this time? I think he might be alright. I'm not entirely sure. Wait, no, yeah, no, I can confirm he has indeed lost his front wing. So yeah, he's gonna go another lap down. He's already a lap down after pitting for the first time. But he's still leading 2.5 seconds now, the advantage between him and Lucky Lambert. BJ still back there in third. Pope's now half a second behind. So those two are getting close. It's a decent. In the top 7 or so, top 8 have really spaced themselves out. And it's JB who leads the next train. He currently trying to get away from Luigi Sven, defending from our championship leader, Salve Landlord. Ben has retired from the session. I think he's spun off, trying to get into the pits. Where is he there? Yes, he has. He's spun a very unfortunate place there. He's retired in a bad place. And there he is right there on the exit of the corner. So I think he must have come back across the track, to be honest. So there he is then out of the race, unfortunately. Our first retiree of the night. What's happened to one of the Ferraris back there? So now Salvari's managed to get himself away, okay. Keep an eye on this battle for the final points paying place. The championship leader now battling Luigi Sven. Around he goes! There goes the Ferrari! He's lost his front wing there, down the main straight, and that's very unfortunate. It means he's got to go all the way back around again. Ericsson's retired as well. What happened to him? Yellow flag then in sector 3. What happened to Ericsson? I think he may have been a casualty of whatever went on down the main straight. So it's 2 drivers now out of the Grand Prix. No safety car. Yellow flag now in sector 1. Luigi Sven has no front wing. And that'll be dreadful for his race. He's now got to go all the way back around the track again in order to make it back to the pits to get a new wing. None of this doing anything to just distract the leaders up front. Blaze now pulling out a 3-second advantage over the Haas behind him. Looking further back through the pack now. Pope right with BJ. The gap just 3.5 tenths. And with that 4, BJ gets well on the exit there. Pope didn't have the best of corners, but he's still running right there in 4th, so he's not doing too bad. Of course, he's currently running the best of the rest. I mean, the top 5 drivers in the championship have been fighting for that all season so far. They've already been in that fight despite Landlord pulling away. And Pope has of right now, but that victory currently sits there as the best of the rest. Luigi Sven still making his way back to the pits here as Landlord makes the pass on JB for P9 as fans disconnected. So someone's have to try and find a way to get him back in. Let's have a look at the chat here. There's a lot of drivers leading the session now, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. Blaze still leading then. Now 4 seconds, pretty much 4 seconds over the Haas. Look how close Pope is to BJ now to make the way up through Radion. As Pope now gets hit with another penalty that won't help him, but he's definitely got his hands full right now. I don't think about that too much. He's trying to pass BJ to head down towards that next right-hander. And they're closing on Lucky Lambert as well. These two go side by side into the right and then into the left. Nice and smooth between these two. No quarter given. BJ has the edge on this occasion. I'm being told in the chat there's a chance that in the Discord chat there's a chance that the lobby may have crashed. I mean, things are going okay over here. A couple of drivers did disconnect. I'm being told 6 people have disconnected. JB's rejoined, so that may have fixed itself. Dan is not in it at the moment. It's very confusing as to what's going on. Courtney Goblin goes way wide there. And that could allow C110P fan around the outside, if he can. Those two go side by side, half a car length in front. It's the Red Bull over the Williams. So make their way into the left-hander. Fan around the outside, trying to make something happen. And he does make something happen. Courtney Goblin gets all out of shape, and that's going to allow Curtis inside as Dan rejoins. People are starting to get back in now, so that's good. Contact between Courtney Goblin and Curtis. Ethan behind them has just called back up. Place as the fast lap once again, so begin lap number 8 of this Belgian Grand Prix to continue to plug that advantage. Alex is now closing on the guys in the top 5, so it's looking good for him. He could potentially make his way into that battle for the place on the rostrum. We're obviously battling Ferguson's AI as they make their way down towards Eau Rouge once again. Websy really closing in. He's using that ERS to his advantage. Fergus being tailed by the Red Bull as Dan makes the pass and Zach Sherman out of turn 1 for 11th place. Zach Sherman all over the place there, very nearly going a bit wide as Fan rejoins. Things are all okay for him. And Fergus rejoins. Blaze still the advantage as BJ and Pope go side by side for the final spot on the rostrum once again. Pope around the outside, BJ on the inside. How's this all going to turn out? Into the left-hander once again. BJ has the edge. He's on the inside. There he goes. Moving back up into 3rd place. So it's no VX. Pope's still right there behind him. These two still going side by side. Pope has to back out. Still not entirely sure what's going on. In terms of the lobby, I'm feeling like it may have been fixed. I'm not entirely sure, but the time intervals have just disappeared. Curtis passing Fan in the race for 14th. Zach Sherman's currently holding off both Dan and Huggy Bears to make their way through the start of section number 3 now. BJ can get back past Pope, so that battle is still continuing. And Alex is looking to get involved now. He's trying around the outside of Pope is into turn number 1. Into that first turn. There may be a little bit of wheel banging there, but nothing major. Both drivers getting a bit scrolly there. Pope, oh, around he goes. And there goes the Drivers' Champion, last week's winner, Tuffy Pope, out of the race. And that's a safety car then on lap number 9. And that could put, and that can't put anyone at an advantage in terms of pit stops. Everyone's past the pit lane here. And that will not be what Blaze is wanting, considering he's just pulled out a 7-second lead over Lucky Lambert in 2nd. But that'll give us a bit more of a race up front. At least in terms of a race for the lead. But Pope out once again. It's very unfortunate that we're now down to 17 cars. Right then, so of course people have to drive to the Delta as of right now. So Blaze then showing the way at the same time on a safety car. Lucky Lambert in 2nd. BJ now is in 3rd for just confirm that. Alex now moving up to 4th. Fergus up to 5th. Everyone's gained a place now. Landlord's put himself back inside the points. And that would be enough. I think that might just be enough for him to just about retake the championship lead. Well, I'm not entirely sure because Blaze had the extra point for fastest lap. Landlord will take 4 points from today's race as it stands, and Blaze will take. He'll be taking 26 points. And the gap between the two of them, if I look once again at the Drivers' Championship, is 22. So yep. Can confirm, I believe, that Blaze will take the championship lead, so things stay the same. But he's coming into the pits here. Everyone's coming into the pits. The looks of things. Now, does Fergus stay out? Because of course that would mean having to double stack in the Alfa Romeo. They might just get away with it, to be honest, because of the gap between the two of them. So that is what they're planning. Of course, there's not really many team games in terms of online racing, but it looks like they're going to get away with things on this front. Alex onto a new set of inters. Everyone will change onto intermediate tyres at this point. Pit lane getting very busy as Fergus moves into a stall. Very good stop from them. Blaze now back out on the racetrack and joins up behind the safety car. It's based on my maths then, and it does look like Sir Blaze will take the lead, or hold on to the lead of the driver, or take over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Sorry, I was right in the first place. Should South Landlord finish where he is, Only just, though, I believe, by 1 point. Well, I'm thinking about it, it might be tied. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see what the points look like at the end of the Grand Prix. As of right now, I think Southway Landlord might just be that 1 point in front. So Lucky Lambert now has been given a huge chance to potentially get himself back into the equation in terms of the race victory, because it's been a Southway Blaze show since lap 1 started. Of course, he had a brilliant start covering off Pope on the run down to the first corner. Of course, he managed to pull that one off, so very good on him. Everyone's now punched back up, so it's a great opportunity, as I say, for him to potentially take over the lead. We have to go one more lap up by the looks of it until we go on again. He's got to wait for the rest of the pack to join up. Luigi's defense will also be given an opportunity as well to get himself back into the race. Of course, he was a long way back, and now thanks to the safety car, has managed to be able to close back in. What's the next car behind? Next car in front of him is Ethan. Right, so it looks like we will have one more lap before the safety car comes in, provided that Luigi's phone can catch back up in time. So lap 11 then, we're reaching the halfway mark of this race, and Blaze has led since the lights went out, and that could change over the course of the restart. Perhaps, you never know. But I can confirm we'll most likely be getting a restart on this lap, because Luigi's fence right there behind Ethan now. Just the main straight separating them. Down to turn 1. Luigi should be able to close back in. We'll get this race back underway. No change in the weather as it stands. The rain has continued to fall throughout the course of this race. Of course, it's caught a few drivers out so far, namely the 3 drivers who have retired from the race. It did briefly catch out, obviously, got a Luigi's friend too, because he had a bit of an issue down the main straight, heading down towards the source from battling with Landlord, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I think I am mistaken. So we'll have to wait until we get to the end of Sector 2 for race control to confirm to us that we will be indeed getting back underway. Have a look at the order then one more time before we get going again. So Southway Blaze in the lead, Lucky Lambert in second place, BJ now promoted into the podium, who will line up third, Alex in fourth, Fergus in fifth, Websy sixth, Alvar seventh, Landlord eighth, JB ninth, and Zach Shum rounds at the top 10. Huggy Bear in 11th, great opportunity to potentially score points should he be able to carry things through into the second half of the race. Curtis in 12th, Fan 13th, Connie Corbin in 14th, Dan 15th, Ethan 16th, and Luigi Sven, having finally got up to the back of the pack, will restart in 17th. Right then, so I'm assuming we'll get a restart now as the safety car crossed the Sector 2 split, and there we go. Mercedes safety car getting away, and we'll be coming in this lap and we'll be able to get back to racing. So what does Blaze do on the restart? Does he try and back F1 up? I'm not sure. I'm not too sure we can do that thanks to the wet weather. I'm not sure he can do it as much as he'd like, because you can barely do it, especially in Belgium. With that final corner, you had to get away before they reached the last corner, or at least on the exit. You need a very good exit in order to make that stand a chance, even in the dry weather. In the wet weather, it's definitely a real low speed corner, so it could be a real worry for him. So let's get back on the way now. Now, when does Blaze choose to go? Because the Alfa Romeo does have control. So he's going to try and go either in the corner or on the exit. Oh, Lucky Lambert's gone wide. Oh, but Blaze has lost it on the exit. And there goes Lucky Lambert taking the lead. He has to slow up before they hit the green flag though. Green flag back out. Lucky Lambert now drops a couple places as Blaze takes the lead down to turn 1. Oh, contact. There goes Fergus making contact with... Oh, and it's all chaos here. Everyone's all over the place. Not quite sure what's happened. Everyone getting away very aggressively. In particular, Alex now up into 3rd place. I believe Huggy may have damage of some kind. So he's okay. He's got a 5-second penalty for corner cutting and gaining a place while corner cutting. Cockney Goblin passing Alvar. Landlord now get up into 4th. What a restart he's had. Still definitely retaining the championship lead. The gap will definitely close, but he will retain it regardless of if Blaze takes the win today. If things stay as they are. And Fergus now over on the left. Has he got damage? He does have damage. He's lost one of his end plates. So that's going all the way back around. That's not the restart he would have wanted, and that'll be a huge damage, bit of damage to Alfa Romeo's chances. Alex now up into 3rd, so he's managed to profit from this restart. BJ's dropped the place. Landlord's there in 5th now. Zach Sherman in 6th. Huggy Bear up into the points. Of course, he has got that penalty to worry about. Alex dropping back now. Zach Sherman now takes 5th place. Safeway Landlord up into 4th. BJ 3rd, Lucky 2nd, and Blaze in 1st. He's pulled out 2.2 seconds already. Say what you like about him, but he has been strong so far today. Wouldn't surprise if he was able to carry this one all the way through to the race victory, but he's got to hold on for the next 10 laps in order to do so. I don't think he'll be holding on. He might rather be extending that lead. And tell you, driver who will be trying to hold onto the car to actually make it around to the pit lane. That's Fergus, who of course did take damage on the restart. No idea what it was. Very confusing, or very aggressive restart, to say the least. Blaze sets the fastest lap there, 1 minute 54.4. Across to the lines, we get lap number 13. Down towards turn number 1. Landlord looking around, trying to take 3rd from BJ. Alex and Zach Sherman all over the back of each other as they charge out turn 1. Out of La Source and down towards Eau Rouge once again. Everyone's single file as it stands. Fergus now gets hit with a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. Oh, looks like he's missed the pits. So he has to go around another lap here. Wouldn't surprise if he chose to retire from the race. Blaze are now pulling out 3 seconds. Landlord right at the back of BJ, waiting, preying on any kind of mistake the Williams may make in front of him. Curtis chasing Webbsy, Alex and Zach Sherman as they made their way off the left-hander and charge down towards the next couple of corners. Landlord's still all over BJ here. The gap 3/10 between them. BJ always gets a good exit there, so it is okay for the time being. No DRS, of course, either. 1.5 seconds the gap between him and 2nd place, Lucky Lambert. Landlord's still on the chase there as they make their way through Sector 3 now. You continue to scroll through the pack here. Connie Goblin leading this train. He's got the C110B fan behind him for company, and Alvar's trying to close in on him. The Red Bull driver focused with stopping, or trying to stop Huggy Bear from building leads. Blaze sets the fast lap once again, 53.4 this time. Alex got a terrible exit there. It's going to allow Webbsy through on the right hand side as they charge down towards turn number 1. Curtis to that first corner. Up for a Rouge again once again. Alex still right there, trying to get past Webbsy. He's got the ERS. He's got a great slipstream. He'll be using that to his advantage. We're hoping not to slip as they make their way down towards the right hander. He's trying to go around the outside if he can. Ooh, Webbsy locked up. There's a bit of contact. The Red Bull very nearly loses it, and there goes Curtis sneaking up the inside. He's managed to hold on to the car. Everyone's managed to get away nice and clean. Curtis has taken full advantage there of those two going side by side. Webbsy's lost out as Fergus now out of the race. He's retiring. He's retiring on the pit lane, and that's the end of his race. We're now down to 16 cars. Luigi Sven and JB going side by side. JB exceeded on that occasion. Fergus out of the race then. So that's, yeah, as I said, now down to 16. His teammate still pulling out that advantage once more. Curtis still chasing Alex here. The pack all running single file here. No one giving an inch. As JB now gets hit with another penalty. Let's have a look at the penalties here. So Alex has 3 seconds to his name. I'll give you an incredible 11 here. So he's got a lot to think about coming into the race. I do think that he'll be he'll be 16th as it stands with the penalties. He's got Courtney Goblin has 6 to his name. JB also has 6. So those two both finished within 5 seconds of Huggy Bear. They won't finish last as BJ and Subway Landlord going side by side of turn 1 down towards Eau Rouge. And looking to get the edge. BJ managed to get in front. Scrolling for once more. Everyone's still single file here. There goes Curtis to kind of look around trying to make a move. Lionel's still there with BJ as it stands in front of them. The Williams driver is still in front by a couple tenths. Curtis all over the gearbox. That McLaren has a bit of contact. Curtis having to recover quick. Websy making his way through. He's going to try and have gone the outside if he can. Very tight there. Zach Sherman and Aston Martin still pulling away, or trying to pull away from these guys. Alex has a penalty to his name. So as of right now, he'll be finishing in 9th, maybe 10th by the looks of things. So he's just trying to hold and trying to get away to see if he can score maybe a point or two at the end. Still got 7 laps to go. So a lot of racing still to be done here in Belgium. BJ's now pulled out a bit more of an advantage over Landlord as they make their way towards the last corners. He's now focused on chasing Lucky Lambert and the Haas. Zach Sherman now still being chased now by Alex, who got a bit scrolly at the last corner, but he might try and use to his advantage. Down to turn 1, yellow flag behind him. Oh, that's Huggy Bear, I think, who may have caused that yellow. And there goes Dan behind him. Getting very loose down towards turn number 1. Huggy Bear side by side with Courtney Goblin, forced him out, and there goes Alvar looking to take advantage. Here they come now, making their way down towards Eau Rouge, side by side. This one's going to get tight. Oh, very close. Courtney Goblin holds on. Yellow flag in sector 3. Not quite sure what that's about. It might be debris, because there's no one actually in sector 3 as it stands. Huggy Bear with another 3-second time penalty. That's 14 seconds now to his name. It's Alvar looks running outside of the Red Bull in front of him. So the chicane they go. Alvar gets way out of shape and has to back out. Salway Blaze now with a penalty. Oh, this could be where it gets interesting, because he still continues to pull that lead as Curtis passes Alex here for 6th place. But Blaze now has a penalty. I'll have a brief look here at the race director in terms of incidents. I mean, we'll have to see who's on 2 as it stands. A lot of drivers, a lot of different warnings here. Salway Blaze has taken multiple warnings in terms of track limits, so he's gone away with a lot tonight. He's got 7 seconds, as now that gap is 4 officially in the order. Zach Sherman still leading that train with Curtis now behind him. He'll be looking to go on the attacks. They make their way down towards that down through that 3rd sector for the 16th time in this Grand Prix. He's using the ERS. Zach Sherman's also using his. Here they come now through the next left-hander. One behind the other. Alex dropping back now. Does Curtis look for it? Does he go to the inside? Zach Sherman defends inside. Curtis looking around the outside to try and make a way in. Alex will be looking to try and take advantage of those. Of course, he's been a bit scrolling in the exit at this last corner every few times. Oh, there he goes again. And that could allow Websy through to try and take advantage. Down towards turn 1 again. Oh, Alex again, a bit scrolly. Websy going to be all over him here. Not enough to go for a move into a Rouge. He stays in line. Huggy Bear still being chased by Courtney Goblin, and Alvar's dropped back a little bit. Is it me, or is Salway Blaze maybe dropping back a little bit? Because the gap was 7 seconds. It's now 6.8. Curtis now passing Zach Sherman. Alex trying to take advantage as well. It goes around the outside. Yellow flag, and that's one of the rebels. That's Connie Goblin who spun out. Spun out in the chicane. He has to get himself going again, and he does get himself going. No issue. Zach Sherman and Alex side by side. Oh, there's contact. Alex drops back, and Websy goes through on the inside. Alex now dropping back. He's going to be in P8 as it stands based on that penalty that he's got. Things are looking safe for him for the time being. Websy now the next car on the train behind Zach Sherman. Curtis pulling away now. He's already got a second on the Aston Martin. Websy's all over him. Five laps to go and Selfie Blaze crosses the line up front. Let's have a look at the position change so far throughout this Grand Prix. It's placed at the fast lap once again. The biggest winner of today's race has been Salve Landlord, our championship leader, who will be finishing fourth, but looks at things, really took advantage of things on that restart. He's gained 15 places, and so far, out of all the running drivers, the driver who has lost the most places is Courtney Goblin, but Sashi Pope has lost 16 after that crash earlier on in the race. Landlord still chasing PJ. He's right on his tail as they go through a Rouge. Up the hill they come on the exit. We're looking for something. These took about the same amount of batteries, it stands, about 20% each. Connie Goblin to the pits. So he must have got damage from that crash in the chicane earlier. And Courtney Goblin has retired from the session. He's out the race, but now has 15 cars. Oh, there he goes. Landlord looking at inside. And BJ's gone a bit wide in response. There goes the AlphaTauri underneath. He's going to have the outside line into this next left-hander. Can he go around the outside again? Now he's at the outside. He's got a nose in front. He's half a car in front. BJ forced to back out to avoid taking both cars out. And now it's Salve Landlord up into third. The gap now standing at 12 points between the two leaders in the championship. Salve Blaze now 12 back. With this victory as it stands, that'll put him a little bit closer as it stands. Luigi Sven now being hit with a time penalty. So it does look like Ferrari won't be scoring points here today. Oh, Alvar overshooting quite a bit there, and that could open the door for Fan to try and sneak inside if he can. He's still got a full tank of battery here. So his ERS management has been spectacular over the course of the race. Blaze once again sets the devices up. The gap now 9.3 seconds. He'd need a couple more penalties in order for him to really stop him. Or potentially another safety car. And that won't be what we wanted to see. Hoggy Bear off the corner. Alvar on the chase. They make their way down towards the source once again. Into one. Alvar right on the back of the McLaren. Luigi Sven backing out a bit. Dan on the exit, not close to challenge. Right on board with Alvar up the hill here. He's right on the tail of that McLaren. It shouldn't be too long before he really goes for that move. He has to get a good tone or to stand a chance. Huggy Bear's also using his ERS as it stands. That's been serving as the drag reduction system for the whole race. He goes around the outside, looking at it for a second. Huggy Bear says, not today, mate. He's still staying in line and still taking, still holding on to P9 as JB battles Luigi Sven, the other Ferrari behind them. He goes a little bit wide. Connie Goblin's left the session. Dan's looking inside now, going into the right hand. Luigi Sven's forced to go a little bit wide in response. Contact between the two here. Luigi Sven gets all out of shape, and that's going to allow Dan around the outside, similar to how his teammate did around the outside. There goes Dan up into 13th place. So there is your leader, Salve Blaze, who's still holding on to that almost 10-second lead now. He's been unstoppable. He's got 3 more laps to go in this Grand Prix. And all he's got to do is hold on. Websy on the chase, trying to make his way past Zach Sherman. These two have been running nose to tail for the last couple of laps.
just got 3 more laps to duke it out. Down to turn 1. Oh, there Huggy Bear must have made a mistake. Yes, he has. He's gone all out of shape coming off the last corner. Yellow flag in sector 3. And it looks like that was for him, so he's all okay. So we do keep going. JB looking to try and make a move. Dan not close to capitalise. Websy looking to pass the Aston Martin now. He's all over the shop trying to make that move. He's pulling out to the left hand side. He got himself as close as he could. He may have to go a bit later on the brakes in order to stand a chance. Nope. He may have locked up a little bit there. Stays in line. Alex looking to try and make a move behind them, trying to capitalise on any mistake the two of them may create for themselves. Meanwhile, BJ is half second behind Landlord here as it stands. And he could help Blaze close a couple more points up should he manage to make that pass. Right now the Alfa Romeo driver doing everything he needs to do in order to win this thing. And short of him getting 2 more penalties over the course of the next 2 laps, he has got this race in the bag. Unless of course let's make a mistake or the commentator's curse comes into any sort of effect.
BJ still giving chase. Websy still on the back of Zach Sherman. He'll keep an eye on this battle right to the end. Websy a little bit scrolly there on the exit of that last turn. Going a bit wide there as well. Here they come now, making their way through towards that large chicane. No change as it stands. Webster's going to need a very good exit in order to stand a chance down that main straight. Not using his ERS. 2 more laps to go. Keep an eye on this fight here. Alex with a particularly poor exit off of that turn. Into a Rouge they go. Websy really closing in now. He's had to go for a move. He's lost his momentum though. This could be tricky. He's going to go around the outside here. He's going to go for it right away. But he doesn't really have the run that he did going up through the chicane. There he goes. Now he's got that charge. And now he's on the outside looking in. Goes late on the brakes. And he could get Zach Sherman here. They're side by side through the chicane. Alex is right behind them. Right on board with him as these two jockey for position. Websy around the outside. And now here goes Alex looking inside. He's now going to go back to the outside again. These three are all over each other, and it's been a very exciting battle all race long, but Websy's on top. Alex now trying to go around the outside of Zach Sherman if he can. Unable to do so, falls back into line. Subway Landlord now chasing Lucky Lambert and the Haas. As Blaze now making his way through to come to the start of this final lap. Is there a chance the Landlord could still take second place? Blaze is hit with another penalty now at 6 seconds to his name. If he was to get 2 more penalties, then he would lose the race. He can't make any mistakes now. No big mistakes on this final lap. He's driven a perfect race, near perfect from start to finish. And now she's got to do 1 more lap to keep things nice and calm and not lose any time. If Lando wants to make that move, he's got to set himself up to pass, and he can't waste any time as he makes his way towards turn 1. Websy is getting away from Zach Sherman and Alex, who still could go toe to toe on his final lap. Alvar and C110P fan fighting behind. Alvar's getting the edge on that occasion. He's quite far in front. Into turn 1. Off the corner. Websy's didn't get the best of exits there. Alex has no run. JB right on the back of Huggy Bear. No one closing to go for any moves into a Rouge. Landlord's still just 3 tenths behind Lucky Lambert. He's still going to have to make that move at some point. He's have to make it quick. Oh, and there goes Zach Sherman. Oh, losing control as Alex makes the pass. Gets on to P7, of course. He will lose that spot due to penalties unless he can pull out 6 seconds on this last lap. But he's got managed to get himself out on top in this battle. And Websy will come home in 6th for the looks of things, short of any mistakes on that final run. Huggy Bear with another penalty now at 17 seconds to his name. Half a second now separating Lucky Lambert and Landor as they come towards Sector 3 for the final time. And in Sector 3 for that last run is Salve Blaze, who's driven a perfect race from start to finish, save for those penalties. He controlled the restart, and now he's making his way through. He's led every single lap of the Grand Prix, and I do believe he's about to complete a Grand Slalom as he makes his way to the final corner, and he will do so. One from the pole, led every lap, set fastest lap. Salve Blaze does it in Belgium. Unlucky Lambert looks to come in second as Blaze sets the fastest lap for good measure. Oh, we've got a bit of scrolling on the exit, but so did Landlord. So Lucky Lambert will come through to take second place. Landlord in third, who will retain the lead in the championship. BJ fourth. Here comes Curtis. He managed to pull away from that very heated battle for that sixth spot in the closing laps. So will come home in fifth. Sixth place goes to Websy. Alex will no doubt lose a couple of seconds, or a couple of places due to those penalties. Zach Sherman, Alvar, and Fan all getting past him. I think that match will be what happens. JB will come home in 11th. Huggy Bear gets another penalty that was unserved. And Ethan, the last car to come over the line. Salve Blaze then. Great race from him today. Well deserved victory. So then, Salve Blaze is your winner once again in the Racers Driving League, and for some reason a headless Salve Landlord will complete the podium alongside Lucky Lambert, and he will retain the lead of the championship. So there's still to play for here. The gap, 12 points between the two leaders. So you can bet there'll be a lot more action when we come to Zandvoort next week in the Netherlands on next Monday night. So hopefully that'll be a very, very exciting race. Not quite sure why Landlord was headless though. Hope he wasn't driving like that. So I'll go through your top 10 here before I sign out. Salve Blaze wins the race. Lucky Lambert in second, and Landlord completes the podium. BJ comes up in fourth. Good race for him. Curtis in fifth. Websy sixth. Zach Sherman makes up 9 places and finishes 7th. Fan finishes 8th. Alvar 9th. And Alex, with those penalties, rounds out your top 10. So with that then, that is the end of today's coverage of the Racers Driving League. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like the stream. And of course subscribe as always to keep us up to date with all of the audio action, because there'll be a lot more in the closing 9 rounds of the season. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.